Hello, welcome back. Today I'm watching House of the Dragon Season 2, Episode 5. If you cannot wait for next reactions, make sure to check out Patreon because there I post early access to the next episodes already. You can find the edited versions there earlier, like the ones you find on YouTube, but also the full-length unedited versions if you like to watch everything together with me. Alright, let's go!
Send me.
No, you must send me, Your Grace.
What if they had sent more people? I don't get why it always needs to be one instead of like, let's outnumber them. We do have more.
You got it!
Crazy episode that was. Putting a few crosses next to names. I kind of want to see like an evolution of the intro and like somebody explaining everything that we see, because I feel like earlier was the kid on the throne already bleeding from the neck, or is that now with Aegon that it changed or not? Oh man, but they loved so deeply and for so many years. Oh, I have chills. You have to find the least fungus-fueled orange.
Behold, the traitor dragon Maylease, slain by your king to Aegon!
He's dead? Is he not dead?
Mark my words, this is a black omen.
They don't seem to be excited though.
The Rhaena will answer this. It is an abomination.
Ah, they're scared, right?
Don't they realize we won the battle?
Strange victory, if it was one.
You know you messed up if even your people are like, oh no.
I thought the dragons was gods.
It's just me.
They're still there. Like, my god, was the point not made? I feel for her. And he knows that's... Oh. I wonder if people saw what he did, or if only Cole is realizing what has happened. I don't know if she's gonna be sad. I don't think so. Maybe like from a you don't want to lose your brother sense, but definitely not husband. It's crazy to think that nobody in that town or that city knew that they were bringing in their king hidden.
Is he alive?
His grace remains with us.
Oh my god, I already put a cross next to his name. Oh, they say that burn marks hurt so much. Oh, he's not conscious. That's good, I guess, for him.
Is my son going to die?
I'm afraid I cannot say. If you'll excuse me, Your Grace, these next hours are most critical.
Not just the burn, but also the huge fall from the sky.
Someone will have to rule in his stead.
Well, he's ready, I guess. Or he's gonna point at Mom. Would he, though? I feel like if he's not dead, it might make more sense that Mom would do it than the brother. If it would be dead, I think it would be the brother.
His grace fought valiantly.
And Aemond? What was his part in this?
You hope you never need to wonder if one can't hurt another.
We still have no ground army but the one we hope that Daemon will raise. He who has left us after some marital spat.
Yikes.
Do you take issue with me, Sir Alfred?
It is merely that the gentler sex, heretofore, has not been much privy to the strategies of battle.
There has been peace in our lifetime. You've seen no more battles than I have.
Woof. Ow.
I myself must do it.
You are the crown. It's out of the question.
Out of the question.
What would you have me do?
It's so hard because they always need to make decisions with their back against the wall. And so it's like always a dilemma between choosing between two bad options.
Where are you going?
To Harrenhal, to treat with the Daemon.
And you think you will tame him when the Queen herself could not?
I can sit still no longer. I must act.
He's getting restless too.
The phrase, Crickenstark's greybeards are marching south.
Why is this not being discussed on the big table?
She will not like it.
Then don't tell her. Not until I'm away.
Oh, kid, you're gonna shatter her heart. It does worry me that Rhaenys had the biggest dragon they had, and then seeing how big it was compared to Vhagar, it's like, oh.
We choose fire.
Oh, guess that was solved.
They made their choice. You should have indulged them.
I need them alive.
Oh.
I came here to raise swords, not corpses.
They are pig-headed.
They would rather burn than succumb.
That's what you need in a war.
Exactly the kind of men I need.
Yeah.
There are things the crown itself must not be seen to do. Show them your worst.
I am your servant, Your Grace.
Oh god. Let someone else do the dirty work. It's kind of cool how we're like zoomed in on this feud between two clans or something. I don't know what you would call them, families. And not just a higher up hierarchy.
You promised the Queen Rhaenyra 15,000 swords.
In return for protection. A dragon.
Then she has exceeded your terms. She sent 2.
How many dragons have they to give, though?
The dragons will grow in time.
I don't have time. I mislike feeling powerless.
So do I.
My sympathies for the death of your grandmother.
It's crazy how much emotions people have to deal with by themselves. She lost her mom, her grandma, her dad is somewhere.
They would make me queen, but they wish to keep me here, confined.
You are your father's chosen successor.
They did not prepare me to fight. And Daemon as well.
I feel like things would be a lot better if at least she was in contact with him.
For too long I have looked to him for strength. If I must be supplicant to my own husband, what does that make me?
But he could be a good team member, right? He doesn't need to be a...
Kristen Cole made a mistake, parading a dragon's head through the streets like a prize of war. But the people see an ill omen. They are afraid. Bread is scarce. The king has fallen. They whisper to each other that when Viserys lived, there was peace.
Ah, she's good at this.
What you cannot do, let others do for you.
Is that not what Daemon just did as well?
There's more than one way to fight a war.
She's such a good advisor. Like, she knows people. Okay. I'm very curious to see how this is gonna play out.
Did your grandmother ever tell you of the night she claimed Melees?
She snuck into the dragon pit.
She knew that place better than any elder. They said she could see in the dark.
Oh, I miss her too.
She did not always care for me, for what she gave me in the end. I'm grateful.
She gave it her all, didn't she?
Daemon, you were always the strong one, the finest swordsman, the fearless dragon rider. Viserys was unsuited for the crown, but you, Daemon, you were made to wear it.
This is like his favorite kind of talk. You're amazing.
If only you'd been born first, my favorite son.
How does the work here progress?
There's, of course, the matter of payment. I rather thought your grace, as emissary to the Queen, perhaps she could provide the necessary coin.
We all know where this was going.
Harrenhal is my command. I shall guarantee the payment myself.
He's like, I don't care who I get the money from as long as I get it.
Very well, your grace.
You should address me as my king.
Oh, God.
But you're the prince.
What would you call the husband of the Queen?
Well, the king.
There it is, then.
Consul.
That last bit seems unnecessary, don't you think?
Well, awkward. It's interesting how much meaning there is in that title, right? What you say is also what you think he is, or you recognize that he is.
A king cannot rule in his sleep, but now we must name a regent to take his place, until he recovers. Or does not. I myself served in this role for my husband. I am well prepared to do it again.
You played your part admirably in a time of peace, your grace, but circumstances have changed.
Oh, here we go. Exactly the same thing was happening on the other side.
The obvious choice is his immediate successor, Prince Aemond.
Agreed.
Aemond is young, and his lack of restraint has already cost us dearly.
He's right there. Thanks, Mum. Oh, and it's like, oh, everybody agrees.
Aemond is a fearsome dragon rider. His skill is best employed in the field, but my experience is needed here, at this table.
No offence was meant, your grace, but at a time when we must show strength.
Lord Varys.
I agree, your grace. It must be Prince Aemond.
I did not expect this.
What would it say if in response to Rhaenyra's crowning we raised up a woman of our own? That the hand speaks with the king's voice, Sir Kristen. What say you?
Oof, awkward.
Aemond is the next in line.
Ah!
It must be him.
And he also knows that Aemond put himself there, which is awkward.
It's agreed, then.
He's gonna just tap to the other side. He gets a new ball. Damn, the anger.
No one is to leave or enter save with our consent.
His anger turning into panic.
Someone cut down the fucking rat catchers.
At least that's a good call.
The city's safe no longer. We must get out.
For all we know, every road leads into the dragon's teeth.
Did they show his hair in the previous episodes too? I feel like now it's the second time that I notice it, how Targaryen-like it is, but
The king
before...
has promised payment.
By all means, stay and wait for his empty promises, husband. With them you can feed the mouths of ghosts.
Oh, that's difficult. Oof. Okay. The dog is still there. That is so sad.
Aemond is the next in line.
You know what he is, what he has somehow become. Has your loyalty faded, or does it flourish only at night and flee the sunrise like a moth?
Fair question.
What I saw at Rook's Rest, there were men walking, they were on fire.
We have given the war to the dragons.
The dragon rider should lead us.
I get that though, right? You have these armies, and then the dragon just goes whoosh, and it's all done.
Have I not spared you? What we must do now is terrible. Is this who you are, Alison?
I did not ask to be spared, and I did not give you leave to speak my name.
Ooh, Distance, please. Oh no. The desperation, and you're standing at where your dying kid.
You cannot keep us here! We want me!
Oh, this is so dangerous. All the horror stories of crowds getting panicked and start pushing and moving and trampling and oh. How cool is it that we see all these places that we've seen in Game of Thrones? What a strange place to eat, but maybe it's an actual really nice place to eat.
Do you offer us your protection?
I do.
That's what everybody seems to crave, right? The protection of a dragon.
And the protection of my uncle.
And Daemon has consented to this?
He will do as his queen commands.
Will he?
What do you want?
Larys Strong has been relieved of his castle.
You want Harrenhal?
It's so cool to see everybody having their own motivations and wants.
What does her grace desire?
Bent knees.
I hope he's not over-promising. I love that he's helping, though. Every time she's there.
Children being taken from their mothers, men coming home to find their doors unlatched, their wives carried away.
War is a terrible thing.
This is not war. These are crimes against the innocent that any upright man would repudiate.
Set an example for the rest of the Riverlands to follow.
In the name of power, it's the weak and the women who must endure.
He's giving him a lesson here.
But I'll cross you no further. I'm sure your tactics are, after all, approved by the Queen.
Why do people keep going there?
She cannot succeed, Alice. Even if I willed it to be so, the people who support her will not be led by her. They look to a man for strength.
It's a pity, don't you think, that you never knew your mother?
Oh, how does she know, right?
The Blackwoods have overwhelmed the Brackens, and Lord Amos has pledged his banner to you. House Bracken is yours.
He's slowly but surely building up his power.
My castle is a tomb, empty, haunted.
I am sad to have missed its highest days. The wealth you brought back from Yi Ti and a shy, inspiring awe and envy.
How sweet, trying to cheer up her grandpapa.
Queen Rhaena wishes to name you Hand.
Whoa.
Even the death of my wife does not content her. And she not asked enough of my house.
Oh, if you look like it that way.
Or does she think the position will compensate me for my loss?
Aww.
Pledge your peace to King's Landing, then.
Rather, I would sail into the west and be lost.
I get him, right? Kind of just doesn't want to deal with it.
You have done so before, at great cost to yourself and those who loved you.
Oh.
Rhaenys was not only your wife. She was a Targaryen princess, the queen who never was, and she flew to Rook's Rest of her own will, in defense of her kin.
And she died.
She died as she would have wished to die, with honor, in Dragonfire.
I do think so too.
The way my mother chose, and the way I myself wish to meet my end.
Oh, goosebumps.
I grieve my grandmother who loved me, but I carry her on with me. I will see Rhaenyra ascend the Iron Throne, as Rhaenys wished.
Damn, she's strong, this lady.
You yourself may do as you see fit.
She's like, I'm gonna talk so nice, but I'm also gonna be stern.
Granddaughter, I would make you my heir.
I am blood and fire. Driftmark must pass the salt and sea.
Oh my god, she's so cool. Okay, sorry, I need to stop fangirling.
You were correct in saying our best hope of an army is with Daemon. I wish you to go to Harrenhal.
Fetch my husband.
I ask you to reason with him.
Good luck.
Find out his state of mind and his intentions.
Intentions?
I think we all know what she means.
Whether he means to raise a host for me or for himself.
He would not dare.
Well, that's a shame.
Have you known Daemon to lack in daring?
I'm surprised that for him this is new news. Like, there's no way. Well, it's actually been happening already.
Tell him I would much like to finish our last conversation.
It must be so hard if this is how you need to find a way to communicate. If they would be king and queen though, would that be bad? As long as none of them is a consort, could that be a good compromise? Because he was the next in line, then the king appointed someone else, so they both have really strong claims, I guess. But Rhaenys was able to accept it.
Your Grace.
Maybe they would make a fine team. Or is that too romantic?
Seer must begin here with a lesson in etiquette. Failing that, in proper fear of your Targaryen master. Is there some reason you feel free to wake a king in his bed?
Wow, he's so forward.
These beasts proudly carried the banner of House Targaryen.
He's like, you happy now that I woke you?
A terrible war is being fought in these lands. Have you looked after our girls?
Ooh, when you start seeing your dead wife. wondering about her kids.
We should have expected nothing more from a man who ordered the slaughter of a child in his mother's arms.
That will follow him forever.
That is a lie, and I will have the man who told it brought before me.
Is he having a nightmare?
Oh, your man is half the kingdom.
It's so hard to know what's real now when you see him.
We shall not raise our banners for a tyrant.
Okay, I guess it was real, right? But so his game is not working as he anticipated it would.
I have an errand for the Lady Mysaria.
I thought she was dead.
Guess not.
I must be an old friend.
Most people want out these days.
She might want so too very soon. You don't really realize what is going on. It's so cool that Mysaria's name is so well known that you can just start speaking to any guy and he's like, alright. It would be cool if he were to show up. I get his pain though, that he's like, oh, it feels like a way to just ease my mind, but I think she actually means it well.
Was it worth the price?
Oh, she must feel so bad, right? After having that conversation with him where she kind of was a bit rough with him, and then this is the next moment they meet. I feel like even if you think your kid is unfit to be a good ruler and a bit of an asshole, it's still your kid. He's awake.
Prince Jacaerys, Your Grace.
This is interesting. I have some news. He's like trading off Harrenhal while Daemon is there being the big guy, so...
What is the mood at the twins? I'm proud of you, Jace.
Ah.
You've done our cause a great service.
Then why do you look angry?
You just left, my dude.
I must wait here. Even you've managed to do your part.
Oh, she's angry at her own destiny.
No harm can come
And
to
you are
you.
my son, and I did not give you leave to go.
And that.
But who else is there? Rhaenys is dead and Baelor cannot bear the burden alone.
And when Aemond comes hunting for you, your dragon is young. Will you fly before Vhagar as Luke did?
Oh.
Perhaps Daemon could...
Daemon is not here.
Duchy subject.
Shall I fight for my birthright, or shall I wait here until we are all destroyed?
I get her frustration totally.
I need dragons.
We have two large enough to stand against Vhagar, and they sleep just beneath our feet.
Yes, and if only they had riders, none could stand against me. I would go forth in strength and not from necessity.
So we need 2 dragon riders.
There is Rhaena.
Who nearly lost her life in her last attempt. I would not risk it again.
I feel like Rhaena is gonna be like the surprise superstar.
There are those of our line who never ruled. Those who married into other noble houses.
Okay, so who is he thinking of?
There are records here, surely, of our line, and of those who fell out of it.
That's cool to know that the amount of dragons is not the problem, the amount of dragon riders, and I feel like that is easier to fix.
It's a mad thought.
What if they find Ulf? Because he's this character that's been going around, coming back all the time, the hair is nice. I kind of love this interaction that they both had, right? Mom and son. And they're both like understanding about each other's feelings and frustrations, but also respecting each other's advice and opinions. It's so cool to see this play out. I wish there were way more seasons of this. It's just a game of tactics. It feels like you're watching a history lesson, although you don't know, you know it's not real, but it feels so cool. So Corlys is probably gonna make his way to them. This thing with Daemon, right? It's so peculiar. I feel like he didn't say, I want to rule as king and queen consort. He did say, I want to rule as king and queen. So I feel like he wants to be recognized as an equal, but I don't think he wants to jump over her in title. So I feel like they can work with that, although I also think that maybe I'm super naive about that. I also hope they're not over-promising by promising Harrenhal while Daemon is there now, like, building forces, but it would be for after the war. So I guess then it doesn't matter if Daemon is back, you know, on the throne, like what happens with Harrenhal. Then again, things are not going great there either. The tyranny way is not working well. I am also very curious to see what is going to play out in King's Landing because Alinda is there now. Just the idea of using the morale of the people living there is so cool because of course the wars are cool and especially the dragon fights like are so amazing. But I wonder how they're going to use, how people feel about their own king and how strong that could possibly be. Interesting. I would have thought that Alicent would have been the regent. Aemond immediately was there, and it is even more painful that at the conversation where they appointed him, he didn't even have to say anything. Like, that's so awkward when you can just sit there and somebody else is like, me, and you just stay quiet and it turns out to be you. How interesting is it again that Helena is like, was it worth it? Damn, this lady. Also, Elise, I find intriguing as well how Daemon is constantly having these weird illusions when she's around. And that she calls it out too, so she knows what he's seeing. Interesting. I hope you enjoyed this reaction. If you cannot wait for the next ones, make sure to check out Patreon. There I'll post early access to next episodes. The edited versions, like you can find them here, just earlier. And also the full-length, not edited versions if you like to watch the full episodes together with me. I wish you a lovely rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye!